Okay.
Okay, take it
Hey
Take it
everyone,
away.
take it away there.
thanks for uh, thanks for being here. It sounds like a good energy with the group today, and I think we'll have some interesting experiences. I do sense that already. And uh, for anyone that's new, and we have one new person attending today, let
Yeah.
me just go over the grounds. We will be doing a group meditation, the same one that we always do. And together we will attempt to explore whichever level of the spirit worlds we feel attracted to as individuals. There is no wrong thing to do or wrong place to go. Wherever you find yourself in this projection experience is exactly where you need to be. And do not worry about what you're experiencing as being somehow not acceptable. Everything's acceptable, even if it's weird. And sometimes we do have some pretty weird experiences. So I invite you all to relax wherever you are in your chair, lounger, couch, bed, wherever you are, relax. Slow your breathing. Shut your eyes. You won't need your physical eyes for what we're doing. This is spirit eyes and imagination that you will be using. So here we all are together in this eternal moment, which is always now. And we will be putting aside our anxieties about tomorrow, whatever they are, and our perhaps regrets about yesterday. Forget all that for now. You can deal with it later. Here we all are together exploring the eternal moment and using that eternal moment as a launch pad for moving through what we think of as space and time to an interaction with one or several spirits. So I hope you're all feeling a little more relaxed, and let us together move on up out of our bodies, out of our physical bodies, and using the imaginative faculty that is the gift of the divine, let us continue up from the physical, out of that body and into the astral body, and have it float up through the room that you are in, up through the ceiling of that room, and continue on up, either through the roof of the building that you are in, or if you are in an apartment or a condo, move on up through the other floors until you get out through the roof and into the clear air beyond. And use this moment to enjoy the view above your community. Have a look around, see the buildings, look up at the clouds, breathe deeply and feel comfortable. You will be, some of you already have some idea of what you would like to do today. And if you don't, trust in the inspiration of the moment. And if that is maybe not good enough, allow your guides to give you a nudge, which they will do if you ask. And as you move in any direction to any level of the afterlife, it's all good, it's all interesting, it's all useful. There's no one level that's better than another. Some are more pleasant and comfortable, for sure, but there are souls on every level, and some of them would love to meet up with somebody that knows a little more than they do. So allow yourself to move on in the direction you feel drawn to, and enjoy your experience, whether it's a contact or a series of contacts or a rescue retrieval. And I will come back to you all in about 15 minutes and we can share our experiences.
Gordon.
Yeah. Oh, there.
Okay.
David, you seem to be logged in on
Hang
two
on.
separate devices.
Is that better? No. Any better? No. Okay,
Now it says maybe you're logged in twice.
Okay, is that better?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
All right, good. Okay, sorry about that, everybody.
It sounded like looked like you were logged in on two different devices or something.
As a matter of fact, Dan, you got that correct, because what happened was I'm in Seattle. We got my wife's computer
Oh,
and it's running out of power, so I had to get on my phone. So I just got off of her computer and I'm on my phone now, but it works, so we can do it that way.
okay. And it sounds wonderful. Sounds great.
Yeah, good. Okay, and I was getting down to like 37% and I've got tons on my phone, so we can continue now.
Great.
Okay.
Okay.
So yeah,
Good to
go
hear.
ahead, Gordon.
Finally.
Yeah, really. Yeah, I was worried. Yeah.
David, I've had trouble hearing you for the whole session. When you were talking about your swimming pool experience
Hmm.
as a child,
Yeah.
the minute you got to the word angels, I lost everything. I didn't hear any of the
Okay.
rest of it. It was all distorted.
I'll
And I
tell you
kept
more
thinking
about.
it was my machine.
Yeah, right.
It was okay by my stuff here, Gordon.
Uh-huh.
I heard
Well,
everything. I didn't hear
who knows? It all works
upset.
now, so that's the important thing.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
last time, Priscilla, you had to get off early and you didn't get a chance to talk. Did you want to go first today?
Well, sure, I can do that.
Okay, good.
Last time, now for those who are new here, I am new at this. This is all new to me, okay? I'm a novice. But I persevere because this is so fascinating to me. So I got some bit of advice somewhere along the line to ask my spirit guides to lead me to a place where I would be useful. And they'll get you over into the other side by asking for assistance instead of just trying to will myself into the other side, which wasn't getting me any place. I mean, it was getting me a nice meditation. Anyway, last week for the first time, I asked for help from my spirit guides, I guess, because it's just a memory now. And I ended up with my, apparently I have a power animal that's a horse that has recently come into my life through my dreams and through a few other incidents. A power animal, a horse. So this horse appeared last week and it showed me to a rural scene. I have this written down. I'm kind of reading from.
Sure.
It it took me to a place in the country where there was a person sitting curled up, very unhappy. Now, this is a breakthrough for me, actually. So, and he or she said, we're saying, where is everyone? I'm alone. Where is everyone? I'm alone. And I told him, I guess I decided it was him. I told him we could find company for him if he followed me and my horse. So he followed me and my horse, and we went down to where there was a creek, and we could look across the creek and we could see a group of people who were waving to him. Right out of the book. So he apparently recognized them. He swam across the creek and joined them, and then my horse and I returned.
What do you know? Excellent. Very good.
Yeah, good one, Priscilla. So, Priscilla, that was last week, not this week?
That was last time, 2 weeks ago, yeah. This
Okay,
time
so what about today?
Today I tried the same. Well, it took me a while to remember because I was still laughing from that episode on the border with the pot.
Yes.
I
Yes.
had to calm down from that. Took me a while. And then I said, oh, gotta ask for help. Ask your power animal to take you someplace. Okay, so eventually
Oh, Dawn.
I found myself out in the country again. And this time we were at a like a big pond or a big lake,
Zone.
And we sat down. The horse and I both sat down at the edge of the lake, and nothing much was happening. I didn't see anybody around. I looked far and wide, nobody around. And then I realized there were fish in the pond or the lake. There were fish there in the water, and then they looked like goldfish. And I thought to myself, goldfish in a lake? This is odd. And then that made me remember the goldfish that I grew up with in a pond in my patio where I grew up. There was a pond, a small fish pond with goldfish. And unfortunately, some nasty person in the neighborhood came along and put detergent in that little fish pond, and all the fish died. Golly gee, we don't know who did it. Anyway, so these fish said to me, we are the fish that died in your goldfish pond when you were a kid. That we found a place. We found a safe place to live, and this is where we are.
Mm.
I hadn't thought about them.
Very nice.
I hadn't thought about that in that forever, you know? So I was happy. They found a place to live. It looked like a great pristine waters. So then my horse and I got up and left.
Good.
Yeah, two
Very
really
cool.
nice ones. Two really nice ones.
Yeah. Thanks for letting me share.
Sure.
No, that just briefly reminds me of my only experience of fishing. When I was a kid, young kid, I went fishing with some friends of mine, and I caught some kind of fish about this big. And when I saw it struggling at the end of the hook, I threw it back and swore that I would never hurt an animal again. It was such an impactful experience to me. It's not that I don't eat meat and fish, but when you're insulated enough from the experience, we can pretend it didn't happen. But anyway, that wasn't a dream or a vision. That was just a memory that sticks with me for my life.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Thank you, Priscilla.
Yeah, thanks. Who else would like to share something today? Don't be shy.
Okay, I can. Oh, Margaret raised her hand.
You were first, Adrian. You go first.
Yeah, go ahead,
Okay,
Adrian.
okay, so I felt pulled in two directions, which was interesting. So I was kind of doing two retrievals simultaneously, but I was switching back and forth, but I was aware of both. So one of the guys was confused. I don't know how and why he died, but I told him that he's dead, and that now he was confused. So I told him now there are better choices than just to go up and down on the street. And he said, "Really?" Or he wasn't aware of any other choices. So I told him that there are souls that can help him to move on to a better place, which is more suitable for him. So I told him that he need to focus on it because they are on a different wavelength, so to speak, because he was freshly dead, and so there is a mismatch. So I told him that the guide is going to step out behind me, and he did, and he was watching, so he saw him. And then I just told him that talk to him. He knows how to go and where to go. And they started talking. So I was confident that that situation will solve itself. So I went back to the other guy. The other one was an alcoholic, and he was hanging around someone. I think it was alive, was drinking. He was drunk, and he was close to him and kind of was getting high on the back of the other guy who was still alive. Who's still alive. And so I started talking to him, and first he wasn't responsive. He noticed me, but it was like I was like bothering him. So I talked to him again. He was around in his 40s. This guy who was the dead guy was in his 40s. That's how he looked. And I told him that what you're doing now is not good for you, and it's also not good for the other man who is drinking. And he could hear me. And so finally he answered that that he doesn't care about anything else but drinking. That's all he wants. And I asked him if he ever had a happy memory in his life, and he came up with something. And I told him that now I told him that he's dead, and now that he's dead, it's far easier to achieve a happy state than it was while he was alive, because of the nature of the afterlife. It's easier. He just need to open up to the possibility, and he will you don't have to hang around a drunk guy getting high off his back. So he was very focused on the experience and on the high, but still was listening to me as well. And he didn't want to get away from this experience, from getting high. So I told him that you can come back if you don't like. If you don't like what's on the other side, you can still come back and continue here. So that caught his attention for a bit, but he wasn't ready to move on. So I told him that if you ever change your mind, you just ask that someone come to help you, and it will be possible for you. So I said okay, and then I left him there, and that was it.
So Adrian,
So-
you're saying, are you saying that this soul, dead soul, was attached to an alcoholic himself so that he could get high from the attachment, or?
I'm not sure if he was attached. He was hanging near him, like next to him, and somehow there was a transference of the high from the drunk high to him.
Gordon, you heard of this stuff before, haven't you?
Oh, yes, Adrian. It's quite common. Dead alcoholics will hang around drinkers or bars and will either glom onto the aura of the one who is physical and drinking. And if the one who is physical passes out, as they say, and leaves his physical body, the dead alcoholic will move right into the body. And there are many reports of people having clairvoyant experiences in bars and seeing several dead drunks fighting over the one body where the guy's just passed out and fighting to get into it. And where they will stay till the one who has passed out comes back in, all sort of groggy and forgetful. So yes, Adrian, that is a very real experience. And I congratulate you for trying to do it. And I can tell you, I've had a number of experiences with private clients where I've had to return on several occasions to the relative of the person who has hired me to try and get them out of their alcoholic habits. Because the first visit doesn't always work. And you go back 2 or 3 times.
Fascinating.
And that's sort of
what stood out that his attachment to his alcoholism was really strong. Like he was wow, like that's really all that mattered to him. Like he was like it was his bubble of reality. Like he wants to drink,
exactly,
and nothing else matters. Like he had no concept outside of what it is to not drinking.
Right. Well, you're exactly right. That's exactly how they are, and it's the same with drug addicts. They're just the same. They hang around where people are shooting up and getting high from the various opioids that are used, and do much the same thing. They're so attached to the experience they can't escape it. That's all they think about.
This sort of gives a new meaning to the term dead drunk.
Oh, yeah, you bet.
What caught his attention, what I said, that it's not only bad for him, but it's also bad for the other guy who's still alive, that he's hanging on him. And that ring a bell in him, like he could
ruin his life.
Many awakening for him, like really. But then he got just back. Okay, but it's more important to drink.
Yeah.
Hey, thanks, Adrian.
Thanks, Adrian.
Thanks,
Gordon. How about you, Gordon?
Well, I've been, with all the interesting news that happens every day, you guys may have missed the fact it was easy enough. It didn't get much coverage, but there was an earthquake in Afghanistan, I think 2 days ago. And they reckon over 1,000 people passed over in that earthquake. So I knew from previous disaster scenarios that I'd be helping out at night while I slept. And because that's just once you get in the habit, you can't resist not doing it. They put out the call and you go. And it's pretty much the same thing with earthquakes all along. They're all kind of similar. A lot of people die at the same time. They're crushed bodies under collapsed buildings and bridges and what, that sort of a thing. And you have to do a variety of techniques to get them out of that, because sometimes they're so shocked by what happened that they still think they're inside a collapsed building. And there's a technique that I learned from the books of Bruce Moen many years ago, where he said, when you're at these sites, look at the collapsed building and what he said was try to imagine it not there, like the collapsed state of the building. Reimagine it as a complete building that's not been damaged, because on the astral plane, that's exactly what it is. And then you can have the experience of the people that were thinking that they were dead inside the building suddenly sort of wake up, and they look around themselves and can't really believe it. They're shocked, like, what happened? And you have to sort of then talk to them or encourage guides to come and talk to them and move them away. And so I've done this before, and I thought this is going to happen to me today. Sure enough, and I was there, and very much the same experiences I've had other years. There are lots of people engage in this, by the way, not just me. Lots of people, lots of sleeping and meditating souls participate in these situations. Lots, maybe even as many as hundreds, because the habit has been established, not just amongst our community. You might call it the New Age community, the projection community. Lots of people do it and only have either no memories at all or vague memories of helping out in these situations. And so that's pretty much what happened to me. I could go into more detail, but that's essentially what it is. You just go from one collapsed building to the next and try to go through that imaginative exercise that I described briefly. And other souls are doing the same thing. And quite often, if you look around, you'll see the other rescuers as orbs rather than humans.
Yeah.
On this occasion, I made sure I was in culturally appropriate dress. Sometimes I forget to do that, and I wind up looking like some guy that just wandered out of a Grateful Dead concert. So, this time I had the appropriate dress that a man in Afghanistan would be wearing. And I was a little more accepted at that time. So that's about it for me. I mean, I know it sounds like a huge deal, but believe me, once you've done it a few times, it's just another thing that you do, and join in the chorus of all the other souls that are doing it too.
Wonderful. Thanks, Gordon.
Sure, no problem.
So,
Okay.
Gordon, what do you think? How many people would it take to clean up the planet from all all of the dead souls who have been stuck?
I've never tried to estimate that, Adrian, because it just seems overwhelming,
Uh-huh. Well, I guess that throughout the centuries, maybe there are people who are stuck for maybe 100 years.
Oh, yes, absolutely. I'm sure you've had either experiences yourself or read about retrievals where people, I mean, I know somebody in our group a few months ago, and I'm sorry, maybe David can remember, this is going back quite a bit, found themselves maybe 500 years backwards in time with a family that was various generations of a family arguing over who actually owned the country estate and the fine house. And that for some reason stuck in my mind. So yes, going backwards in time is doable, and it happens quite a bit, whether you remember doing it or not. But I mean, you can get a little sort of messianic about clearing up all the problem spots. In fact, I was thinking about that earlier today, something I was writing. But you can't really, you have to give up on that. It's
No,
it's
it's
a bit
you know,
like
it's not a goal. It's not a goal. I was just wondering that how many souls that there are still stuck in the Earth plane.
I honestly don't know, and I haven't read of any estimates, so
Mm-hmm.
I can't say, but there's certainly lots of them, Adrian. Whether
Mm-hmm.
we're talking with all the the wars and stuff, and right now, but I think I said this once before. For a little education, go to the WHO, the World Health Organization, and look at their figures for, it'll be for like 2 years ago, 3 years ago, about how many people committed suicide on the planet, how many people died in car accidents, how many people died in wars. And obviously, the estimates take a long while to come in the figures.
Mm-hmm.
But the shocking thing to find out is that way more people have died through suicide than have died in wars in any one year that you care to mention.
Mm,
Mm.
interesting.
It's, I mean, I haven't checked in a while, but I did check once, and it's like, whoa, look at that! Like huge numbers of people commit suicide every year all around the planet.
And in the United
And
States, the chief cause of death of children is gun violence.
Oh boy.
yes,
That's
I've
number
followed
one.
that website that tracks that one, Dan. Yeah.
So what do we know?
I guess we will not
Well,
run out of souls who we can
Yeah.
retrieve.
I
No, it's
think
going
you're
to be
right.
ongoing. Yeah.
So, you were talking about going back in time. Margaret, didn't you have a few of those that it happened? You went back a couple centuries or something in the past?
Oh dear.
Oh, you don't
Afraid
remember, I think?
I don't remember. I don't remember anything in the past.
Mhm. Okay.
No, sorry, I can't recall right now.
Yeah.
I'll try and think about it, but
hmm
um just unless it's the person that Gordon and I are channeling.
hmm
But no, I can't really think of any, David. What were you thinking?
Okay.
Oh, you thought I had one?
Yeah, I think that you talked about it. I
Oh,
can't put my finger on it right now, but it was a couple 100 years ago or something.
oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh.
I
Uh,
think with with myself, I've gone back to the 1920s with a rescue, but
nice.
nothing beyond that.
Wow.
Okay, so
Yeah.
Bill Rain, would you like to say anything today? You don't have to.
No,
You're
not
just
really.
in. Okay.
I
Yeah,
got out of
Bill's
the
done a
house
lot of.
okay, and I got so that I could see basically from Newcastle down to Whitby,
Mhm.
which was fascinating. And for some reason, I started to go southwest. Well, from the physical plane, it's dark, and it's there was a lot of clouds and sort of shapes. Some of them were quite geometrical shapes, and then it seemed to be some of them were like crystalline, and then it was like going down into the earth, basically.
Mhm.
Through cracks and fissures and tunnels,
Mhm.
and then I thought I saw what looked like a statue, just a face, which looked like a Greek philosopher, with the curly beard and the curly hair. And
Mhm.
then I just heard Gordon. And then after that, the next thing was all this echoing, as
Yeah,
if I
that
was
was
in this
the
massive
phone.
chamber and the
hmm
words were echoing around. And I was thinking, where am I at now? And then it realized that it was coming from the Zoom meeting.
Yeah, right. Okay.
So when I opened my eyes, there was two Priscillas, there was two Artyom, there was
Yeah.
two of you, David.
hmm
There was just this ring around all the time.
Yeah, I know.
But I was just surprised to see this sort of marble head with the curly beard and the curly hair and then the word Gordon, and I was just wondering whether that was when Gordon stepped in to have a look.
Oh, I did. Sorry, Bill, I had to excuse myself for a moment, so I missed some of your story. But that last thing you said, I did after I'd done some retrieval work that I described. I thought it occurred to me that I should check in on you, see how you were doing.
So you were probably the statue where the last
You
time
got a
it
beard.
happened, you were full 3D.
Ah,
You know, it was definitely your head, you know, the last time it happened. And I knew you were there because you always come in the top right-hand side of, like, even with your
I
eyes shut,
see.
it seems as if you're sitting up there and you're looking in.
Uh-huh.
Well, it's completely plausible that Gordon would be a reincarnation of a Greek philosopher.
Well, yeah,
Yeah,
quite
look at his
possible,
beard.
Daniel, but
I
I had one
suspect
of
you're right
those
there,
years
Dan.
ago. I definitely had one when I first started. I had a Greek philosopher, and that's what they wanted us to see before they took us where they needed us to go. Well, that was almost 6 years ago.
Mhm.
And the only time the only time actually somebody's actually stepped into me meditation was once in a development circle, and then the next time it happened was sitting with God, which was quite fascinating, really.
Yeah,
But there's also
pretty
been
interesting.
an earthquake in Sudan, and there's only one
In
survivor.
Sudan?
Yes, and there's
Yes,
only one survivor out of the whole village. There's
Oh,
really.
over 1,000
oh,
there.
Well, we got a couple of people that haven't spoken yet. Does anybody like Dan or Margaret or Denise want to pop in?
sure. Up, Dan.
Okay, you go
Well,
ahead, Margaret.
Just quickly. Oh, I'm sorry.
No,
Mark.
no, have Dan. No, Dan, go ahead.
Okay, this is just a quick one. I wasn't able to get anything today because I've been sort of overwhelmed by a dream that I had last night, which was of being with my late partner, Jane, who died in 2007. I haven't dreamt about her in a while, but then all of a sudden this dream came in where the experience was totally physical of being with her. And it was, I would say, the most physical seeming dream that I've ever had. It's like really grounded. And, I felt that I was like fully participating in that reality to where it was just like a normal physical environment. It was a very stable experience. It didn't fade in and out. It didn't switch to something else. So I feel like I have another level of appreciation of how real this other level is when we're in it.
I think it's my own personal opinion, Dan, is it's almost the same vibration of doing the meditation that we were doing, and the dream is vibrating the same way. They're very common. As I said to some of these people before, and Dan, you weren't in the group then, but I would have a dream the night before we were coming here, and it would just show me a certain amount. Usually it's like the death of a person, because I know that the next day I'm going to do this. And then when we start meditating, I get the completion of what happened, the story. So I think they're like really related quite a bit, the dreams and the meditation. It's just getting into the right frequency. But that's pretty interesting that you had that. Thanks.
And it was very impactful because yes, I miss Jane very much. It was just the impact of it is going to be with me for a while.
Yep. That's right. Okay, Margaret, go ahead.
Okay. Oh, I think Priscilla has a question. Do you have a
Yeah,
question?
can I
Okay.
say something about Dan's
Sure.
experience?
Yeah, please.
Now, I would call that a dream visitation,
Mhm.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and write it down, put it in your journal.
Yeah.
Good.
I have a deceased husband, and he visits me regularly, and it's fabulous. So
Mm.
enjoy it. It's
Mhm.
real.
Thanks, Priscilla. Actually, that you're mentioning that I have a friend in Oregon, an older woman who lost her husband about 5 years ago. And not long after he passed, she was receiving conjugal visits from him. She said, I mean, I've heard of this before, but this was someone I knew personally. And she said that she could not tell the difference between whether that was a real experience or an astral experience, a physical or an astral experience.
Yeah, it's wonderful.
So, yeah, these
Yeah.
things are possible. Anyway, that was,
Bill,
was
did you
my-
want to step in, Bill, on this?
Yeah, William Murray is the guy to talk to about experiences like that, Dan. I think he's in a couple of groups and he's a regular contributor to the Facebook site,
Mm.
Wendy's Facebook site. And he has a continuous relationship, physical relationship with his wife, and he has done for a number of years.
Yeah, he was on a couple weeks ago on the global gathering. Him and another lady.
Oh, who was that again?
William
Who was it? Who
William.
was it, Bill? William
William Murray.
Oh, yeah.
Murray. And you were probably there, Dan.
Yeah. Okay. I remember it now. Thank you.
Sure.
He's certainly the man to talk to
Yeah.
because he has a vast amount of experience with this, and he helps other people that's lost partners.
That's right. Okay, Margaret, you go ahead with yours now.
Okay, mine will be short. Mine was with a homeless man who ran past me, and he was all dressed in rags, but he was covering his eyes. And I had said, first of all, is there anyone there who I can help? And he just ran past and was covering his eyes. So I could tell he was scared. So I ran after him and asked again if he needed help with anything, and he stopped. But his eyes were still covered with his hands. So I reached up and I pulled his arms down and I said, let me see your face. He had blue eyes, white, shaggy, long hair, and a black and a white beard. And I asked him his name, and he said his name was Donald Drazon, Drazone. I learned this was a natural death that he had. Because he was homeless, I guess his time was up, and he was scared of dying. I told him not to be fearful. I told him death is a beautiful experience. And then I said, look who's here. And behind me came a crystal white angel who morphed into his wife, but his wife appeared younger to him, like in her 20s. She had short black hair and crystal white eyes. And they embraced and she let him off. But as he was leaving, he turned to thank me. And I just said, enjoy the ride. I said, you are now home. That's it.
What was his name again?
Donald Drazon, Drazone.
Wow.
So I don't know if that's a real person. I mean, a lot of these, I'm not sure. I don't look up the names afterwards to see if there is someone, but maybe I should with this one but he was a homeless man, and he was quite scared of the death process. Very ragged clothes. Yeah. Thank you.
Very
Thanks,
nicely
Mark.
detailed there. Thanks.
And with a name like that, I wonder if he's some alter ego of mine.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, maybe it was you, Dan. No, I'm just teasing.
Well, that's interesting because I do have a homeless friend whom I help out.
Oh,
Yeah, she's a an accomplished professional on the one hand, and has all kinds of problems on the other.
Wow.
And was one of these situations, and she's also a psychologist and doesn't see her own stuff. So it's an interesting and challenging situation to manage.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Good that you're friends, though. Good for you. Thank you.
Well, I do what I can.
Yeah.
How about you, Denise Marie? Would you like to say anything today?
Mine was I'm in Chicago, house sitting and dog sitting.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a German Shepherd here that needs some help, and I'm animal Reiki attuned, but I was not going to go there because the owners didn't ask me to. And, I had this mind around, if you can't help the owners, you can't help the dog, right? But so in meditation, Rocky came in, and that is the owner's German Shepherd in spirit. And there was an interesting experience I had in a channeling circle earlier that then tied in with this dog that I'm sitting right now and came in during our session wanting a Reiki session. And what she told me, Rocky was a boy, but Zoe's a girl, is that I don't need the parents' permission. That's dominion. And the animals were here before us. It's like, and Rocky wants to work with Zoe, which is, I thought all that was very interesting. But then the lesson, there was a side lesson that came with that, and it was about me with some of my family members and helping or not helping them, because I also have a little bit of a mindset of like, I don't care if you drink, you know what I mean? I don't not heal you. I don't offer my services if you drink. But if you're an over drinker, I've been married to an alcoholic, and I tend to, just say, if they're an alcoholic, there's nothing, nothing I can do. But what the lesson that came in today, because we're doing the soul retrieval, is that, you're not helping the alcoholic, you're trying to retrieve the living soul. And that is what I, was to concentrate on, past the alcoholism, you know what I mean? And go directly to the soul. So it kind of was like a cool experience with the dog situation, but it also was an aha lesson for me in my healing work, going forward. No one will be off the table, so to speak. You know what I mean? And to, and kind of to like lose my stigma around that. It's just, around drinking because of my trauma from being married to an alcoholic. You know what I mean? Step away from that and move past that and that. So that was really cool.
Can I just say something?
Yeah.
Denise, because I'm an animal Reiki master, what was it Rocky that you're talking to? Rocky, who said I need some help? Was it Rocky?
Well, no, Rocky is in spirit.
Oh,
Zoe is the earth.
is here.
Right,
Okay. So what I have learned, because when I first started animal Reiki, I said, I do not want to work with humans. So I want to work with animals. So I'm going to work with animals. And I was told, but when you work with animals, you're also working with the human. So because what you teach the animal actually does get resonated back to the human. So if an animal asks for your help, please give it, regardless whether their parents say, oh, I don't like it. Usually the reason why the parents say, oh, I don't like it, because they think this stuff is voodoo and, it's bad for you and all this kind of stuff, but it's not. So if an animal ever approaches you and says that they need help, please give it, because for one thing, it is needed. And that's why you may be here I mean, I know for me, this is my mission in life, is to help the animals, because that's why I'm here. But in the beginning, I didn't, when they said, oh, well, when you're helping the animals, you're also helping the person. I said, no, 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 no. I don't want to help people. I don't want to help people. There's too much baggage there. I will deal directly with the animals because they understand this. So I hope that helps.
It does, and I absolutely agree. And like I said, that did not happen till today. She
Right.
is now, you know what I mean? She came to me, she sat on my chest. We had this conversation, and then
Yep.
she's like, you don't need, because she says, you attune me, and then
Yeah.
I'll attune my mom, because
Yes.
I help my mom and need some help. You know what I mean? So
Yes.
we have this beautiful experience that transpired. So yeah.
That's beautiful. Thank you. Thanks for sharing.
Yeah. Okay, so I think everybody's had a chance to talk, and the next time we're going to meet is in 2 weeks, September 17th. It's on a Wednesday, and you'll get an email from me, and had some good conversation today. Appreciate everybody from coming.
But
Hope to see-
excuse me, David.
Yeah.
Gordon, weren't you going to bring through some messages from Karen Jarvie today? Or did I get it wrong?
I'm working on an extended series of dialogues with her that I'm sending to Regina and Wendy. Now,
Okay.
whether they choose to publicize them is their decision, not mine. Well, I think Karen's in on it. But I should mention, since you brought it up, when I was, she seems to, we've had a few, like 10 different dialogues that I've recorded and not completely transcribed, but she's gotten quite comfortable with me and has this habit of dropping in quite regularly. And she dropped in today. I said, "Oh, you're here, Karen," and I said, "You want to come to these this retrieval set up in Afghanistan?" And she said, "No, I don't think I'm really ready for that level of destruction, And so she sort of bowed out of that one, and I didn't really have any extended chat with her. But I have had on other occasions. She seems to have developed the habit of sometimes when I'm reading something, she tells me, I can see what you're reading, which is interesting. And I'm not quite sure how she does that, but I'm quite willing to accept that she does. And I don't feel like my privacy is interrupted. And she's certainly not there for hours on end. But I think she's extending her psychic abilities while she's on the other side.
Hmm. That wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah. And certainly you would find the dialogues interesting, Dan, but I was asked not to make them public initially.
I'll check with Gene and Regina about that. Thanks.
But yeah, if Regina and Wendy want to share the transcripts, like I say, about 6 of them have been transcribed into text so far. Then that's their decision. But I was asked not to make them public, so I'm kind of going with what I was asked.
Okay, thanks. Good.
Okay, so I think that's it for today, and we'll see everybody in a couple weeks.
Can I make one more announcement, David?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, this is for everyone, and I'm sorry to have to tell you, David knows this, but no one else does. I have an MRI appointment on the 17th at exactly the same time as our Zoom group. And I tried my darndest to get out of it ages ago, and I couldn't. They will not reassign you another appointment. It's like, I don't know why, they just won't do it. And a doctor assigns you an appointment, sends you an email, and you go, oh dear, that doesn't really suit me. So anyway, David has agreed to conduct the whole session on the 17th, and I apologize for not being there.
I'm going to send you Reiki. You said 3:00.
Well, I mean, it's just an MRI, Mark. It's no big deal.
Yeah.
They just put you through this thing and it reads your insides. It doesn't hurt or anything.
Yeah, but okay.
But thank you anyway.
No, I just thought, calm in case. Do these things make you anxious?
No, they don't. I've had one before. I'll tell you what they
Oh.
do, Mark. They're incredibly noisy.
Yes, I know.
They make these loud beeping sounds. I mean, really loud. And they put headphones on you and
Yep.
earmuffs and stuff, and it's still really loud. And you think they could, with all this clever modern technology, they could figure a way to dampen the sound. So that's the most annoying part. You're 20 minutes of this beep, 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 beep. But no, it's not painful or hurtful or anything.
Okay. Good.
But thanks for the thought. I appreciate it. And do
Oh, yeah.
so if you feel like it. I'd be happy to get any healing you're sending. Sure.
Okay. Thanks.
Well, intentions for 0 findings, and you have the insides of a 20-year-old.
Well, thanks. That sounds like a good thing to be.
Okay.
And I've been listening to Gordon's meditation, so I have it down pretty good on what he's been saying, so it should go fine.
Oh, I'm sure
Anything
you guys will
else?
do just fine. You'll do just fine. You're also used to the ritual. You'll just pass through it with ease. I'm sure you will.
That's right. Yep. Okay, see everybody in a couple weeks.
Okay,
Bye-bye.
bye. Thank you, David.
Yeah.
Thank you,
Sure.
Gordon.
Bye.
Thanks, everybody. See you again.